By now, nearly everyone has heard of Resident Evil, also known as Biohazard. As the franchise approaches nearly its 20th year of existence, it has seen 6 numbered entries, approximately 10 core titles, and far more than double that in spin-offs, ports, and mobile gaming options. It has also been paired with a mediocre film franchise, loosely tied to the basic story found in the games. Our focus today is the first game, Resident Evil. Did you play it, perhaps the original 1996 PSX release, or maybe the 1997 Director's Cut? It's possible that you played the rare Sega Saturn port, or the PC port developed by the legendary Westwood Studios of Command & Conquer and Legends of Lore fame. Or, for those of you a little younger, you received your first taste of B-style zombie action and gore in the 2002 GameCube remake, or its eventual re-release in full glorious 480p under the Resident Evil Archives banner nearly 10 years later. The point is, you've probably played this game before. Either the remake or the original, though distinctly different in many ways, are most likely listed in your gaming biography somewhere. So other than an uptick in visual quality, this week's Resident Evil HD Remaster, a remaster of a remake which was mostly a remaster, doesn't really need a review from us, does it? I mean, if you like the series, you'll probably get it. If you don't, you won't, right? All settled. Okay, good. Carry on. Oh, you're still here? Okay, I guess then prepare to enter the survival horror. So the game starts off with STARS, the Special Tactics and Rescue Service Alpha Team, flying over a dense forest in search of Bravo Team, who were sent to investigate the grisly murders near Raccoon City. Bravo Team has been incommunicado, and trouble is quickly apparent after Alpha discovers the heavily damaged remains of Bravo's helicopter in a forest clearing. The aircraft seem to have no trouble landing, but what looks like claw marks and heavy damage, paired with the ravaged and decaying body of the pilot, indicate that Bravo Team may be in significant danger. The search is on for other survivors, when the group is set upon by rabid dogs with decaying flesh. The vicious animals kill team member Joseph, causing everyone else to retreat, seeking refuge in a nearby mansion. Depending on which character is chosen to start the game, we are left with the captain of STARS, Albert Wesker, Chris Redfield, and Jill Valentine. In Jill's scenario, Chris is replaced by Barry Burton at the beginning of gameplay. Once inside the mansion, the goal is to find the missing members of both Alpha and Bravo teams and continue the investigation if possible. As Chris or Jill, the exploration of the huge estate reveals an increasingly complex and at times convoluted story of a secret bioresearch facility and a virus gone wrong. The unleashing of this deadly chemical agent has turned human, animal, and botanical lifeforms into aggressive, vicious killing machines. Quicker and more deadly monsters begin to appear as the story progresses, and our heroes move closer to the truth. Navigating through the mansion complex will require the player to solve various puzzles and find door-specific keys in order to progress. This is the classic reimagining of the original Resident Evil, presented in the 2002 GameCube exclusive remake. While the core mechanics of the game remained intact, that entry saw a complete visual overhaul, more than an upgrade. The graphical changes not only represented increased resolution and clarity, but also more areas to explore and a rearranging of many locations within the mansion. It also added in new enemies, or rather a new enemy state. Any zombified human that does not lose their head or have their corpse burned will turn into a Crimson Head after a set period of time. In this state, they become much faster and deal damage at a higher rate than traditional zombies. As far as the story changes from the original PlayStation release, they are mostly all focused on inserting characters that more closely align the story with the overall series. All of that GameCube content is here in the HD Remaster, and nothing else new that we can see. Visual remastering is great, except when it's not. Starting with the opening intro video, it's clear, at least to our eyes, that all of the cutscenes are simply a basic stretching of the originals, with possibly some noise reduction. They are mostly muddy and don't really feel HD any more than taking a DVD and stretching it to fill a 1080p screen with no advanced upscaling. They are also, for those that care about these things, locked at 30 FPS. Following the opening, the mansion entrance showcases what this remaster is capable of. The main character models look really good, especially the BSAA outfits that have been made for all versions of the Resident Evil HD Remastered. Particle effects such as candle flicker and dust also have a higher quality look to them along with the lighting. There are various assets, mostly models, that have received the upgrade treatment. Within those upgraded assets, some have nice texture work, and others, again to our eyes, it looks as if the textures were simply doubled, possibly more in size, and then maybe sharpened or run through some set of filters to achieve HD. At their best, the textures fit the HD moniker. At worst, they are ugly, stretched, dirty messes, and it's incredibly inconsistent throughout the game. The game did achieve a consistent 60 FPS on my PC, and the widescreen option at 1080p works very well. The higher frame rate results in a smooth experience, once again improving on the tank-style movement controls that were upgraded for the original remake. The increased speed can ease a bit of the frustration resulting from the frequent backtracking, resulting from forced inventory management, particularly when playing as Chris, who only has 6 inventory slots available. If we sound underwhelmed, it's because we are. Don't mistake this for us feeling that the Resident Evil HD Remaster is bad. It could just be a case of high expectations. The GameCube remake was such a jump over the original, it would have been great to see even half of that leap in quality. What we get is something that is visually inconsistent as a remaster, but everything that was critically praised and fan-loved about the remake. That is the key. This is the game that until now was only available for the GameCube or Wii, and is now being made available for PC, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. Resident Evil is still one of the biggest names in survival horror, and it's good that more people can now experience Capcom's definitive beginning of this long-running series. Resident Evil has its quirks, both in gameplay and story. After all, at its heart, this is a B-style horror film with doses of action. The voice acting would be some of the worst ever if it weren't for the voice acting of the original 1996 version. Do yourself a favor and look it up. What RE did was to build a bridge between adventure games of the late 80s and early 90s and combine it with action mechanics. To really fit the horror genre and possibility out of necessity of design, they slowed down the movement and the pacing of the narrative. It wasn't the first game to do this. One can point to Alone in the Dark for that honor. However, it was the first to bring this style to consoles. Through continued refinement of the world and story in subsequent sequels, Capcom created a franchise that set itself apart from the competition for a very long time, and it all began with this game.